Hey guys, what's going on? We got another PvP arena video here, and we are playing Turbo Cleave. I am on the Enhanced Shaman, Marcel's is on his Arms Warrior, and Shuk is on his Holy Paladin. So in this session, we're about 2050 CR, and I think we're playing at about 2k to 2100 MMR, so we actually had a really good session, and I changed my build, so I'm actually doing a lot more damage now. So that'll be in the description, but let's get on to the match. So we're fighting Resto Druid, Shadow Priest, Destro Lock. Now, usually this is played as Shadow Priest, Affliction Warlock, um, but we're going to kind of do the same thing as we've done before, is we're going to split targets and then swap on defensives. So I'm going to sit on the Shadow Priest and kick him since I have a pretty quick cast, and Marcellus is going to sit on the Distraction Warlock to try and shut him down, as that way we don't have either of them free casting, and also the Druid's going to be struggling a lot to try and keep both of them alive. As you can see, he already has has spent a lot of mana, and now he's got Innervate up. I'm still in the Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest has already used Disperse. Now he has Thorns. The Druid's also already used Ironbark, so I'm just wailing on the Priest as much as possible. I'm also kind of watching out for fears on Shuk. There he called out he was just going to Trinket it, which is fine. I didn't use Tremor Totem, which is huge. But as you see, you got feared again. It wasn't really worth spending the Tremor Totem on a half fear. But as you can see there, the Warlock got low, and I knocked the Druid even further away to make him have to use defensives and such. But here, we switched to the Priest because the Druid has stuff ready, and the Warlock has stuff ready. But the Priest, we want to get his Disperse. So both me and Marcellus are on the Priest for a couple seconds. There's Ironbark. And then we're gonna actually, we should be, why did I, oh well. I'm back on the Priest for whatever reason. I should have jumped on the Warlock, but they tried to lure me over away, but I saw Shuk running around, so I just kept following through. And now we're back on the Warlock because of the defensives that have been used, and the Warlock has nothing, and down he goes. So you make the Druid's life a nightmare when you hit two targets or you're constantly switching. That is the best way to deal with this type of comp. Now, this match we are fighting Ret Paladin, Arms Warrior, Mistweaver. This is definitely a strong comp. We thought the Mistweaver was going to be a Fist Weaver, which means he'd be meleeing us and healing his team without having to cast, which would be kind of tough for us to deal with, but we would just end up attacking him. But as you see, they popped cooldown, so I just ran LOS for a second just to see what they would do. Now they're chasing after Shuk a little bit. They get the Hodge on him, and then they go for a blind, but they don't have a whole lot of pressure here. They're sending cooldowns, but they couldn't do any damage. So now I'm reversing that and sending cooldowns on the Paladin and the Warrior at the same time, just trying to figure it out. The Warrior should use DBS here. Oh, okay. No, he dies without it. Okay. That's unfortunate for them. Usually the Warrior would DBS and then we'd instantly swap to the Paladin and get his cooldowns too. But to deal with a monk, you basically just have to run him dry and force him to use a lot of mana, kind of like the druid. Switch targets, make him switch his hots. But here we have Affliction and Unholy DK, known as Shadow Cleave. Now, this is also kind of a tough comp, but also an awkward comp at the same time. With the Resto Shaman, I have to watch out for Earthen Wall Totem. And the reason why is because when you Doom Winds, you're sending a million paper cuts, right? And Earthen Wall excels at defending against paper cut damage. So that's why you have to try and watch for his Earthen Wall, make sure he doesn't have it up or he's already used it, or maybe they're out of it, and then send your damage. That is the biggest part. But here I'm focus kicking I'm going to be focusing on the Shaman's kicks. I didn't worry too much about the Affliction lock because Marcellus was on him. Pardon me. And then, as you can see, we're getting him low. I tried to knock the Spirit Link quick because I saw that coming. I didn't get it in time, but here I'm just focusing on the kicks on the shaman, making sure he can't heal his teammate, which is making his life nightmare. I get the hex off. Neither of them had a kick. I'm not sure what they spent it on. The unholy DK's on Shook, so I run back a second just to pull him, but the warlock dies to Marcellus. So that's another thing you have to watch for is what's chasing your healer, and then try to use, if it's a melee, static cling is very good. But here they had a chance to kill me, but we ended up saving it, thankfully. But I don't think they would have won in the long run anyways, because Arms Warrior is just super strong in a 2v2 situation. But yeah, that's the big thing you gotta watch for when fighting a Resto Shaman is his Earthen Wall. If you're using Doom Winds, it's going to be very important to make sure he has it used, or it's used, or they're out of it, because your Wind Fury is just going to get soaked up by that like no tomorrow. But here we got Marksman Subtlety. Now this was an interesting match. They didn't quite get the opener they wanted, and then it just went downhill for them from there. Here, Marcel or Shuk was able to get his bubble off and get around the corner, and here's where we turned everything around. They stacked up completely. This is something you don't want to do against Turbo Cleave, as it's in the name. We excel at cleaving everything down at the same time. As you can see, they're all low. Everything can die, so we go for the priest. The sub rogues like really trying to stun us, control us, but he almost dies, so he steals. I hex the priest here, and now we're back on the hunter. We're trying to get him because we know he has no turtle. Marcellus gets a really nice triple fear, and then I also knocked the priest. I thought the hunter was coming back, so I knocked him. I tried to knock him out of line, but here the rogues desperately stunning everything. They try and CC Shook. He trinkets that. We are, and there goes the kill. Like it's so fast. If you're playing against Turbo and you're like a squishy-ish comp like this, don't stack up. Spread out. Try to get us away from each other. That's the important part. Now, sometimes it's difficult. The rogue would have been better off running to another pillar and getting a re-stealth, or the hunter possibly, and just getting off a feign death camouflage. But here is also another tough comp for us. Feral Druid and an Augmentation Evoker. This is a very powerful comp. They both excel at high burst damage, but here we were able to just punish the 2 DPS at all times. Now, as you can see, I'm running Thorm's Invocation again, and Ascendance is just a powerful cooldown again. Even though Wind Strike doesn't do as much and the proc doesn't do as much, it's the Lightning Bolt pressure that's going out. And also like the bypassed armor and stuff. But as you can see, I have the Druid set to my focus because I don't want them getting any clones off on Shook or anybody. Because when they get a clone, if they're running a specific talent, every time they use 5 combo points, I think, they get a free Feral Frenzy, which generates another 5 combo points and does an excessive amount of damage. It can pop off if you don't watch it. So that's why you always try and focus the Feral down as much as possible. But also, if he gets away, it's not bad to just switch to the Aug either. But here we're able to just stick on top of him. But if you notice at the start, we switched to the Aug just because the Feral got away pretty quick. But here we're really on top of the Feral, just trying to get as much damage as possible. We know he's used both his survival instincts, so those are on cooldown. So he's in a real pinch right now. He knows he's in trouble. There's the pain suppression from the priest. Now they have nothing to defend him with. And I used the knock to interrupt the clone because I really didn't want him getting those off. But as you can see, he's still running. The Aug is doing a great job trying to peel and support, but I get an Ascendance proc here, and he's just taking so much damage, as you can see, and he just goes down. It's amazing how much damage um, the Thorum's Invocation does. It's crazy. But here we got another Ret Paladin Arms Warrior, but this time it's with a Resto Shaman. And again, you gotta watch out for the earthen walls. As you can see, I'm trying to pull them away from it. That way they don't benefit from it, and I'm not reducing all my damage. So here they try bursting me. I think I walled a bit too early because I saw the paladin pop his wings. But as you can see here, the shaman pop healing tide. So I'm after that. I lunge at it, trying to kill it, get the damage off. He lassos me, and they also overlap this time. So I'm like, okay, great. Now I can send all my damage, and they have nothing against it. So here's all the damage into the Ret Paladin. He's taken so much. Marcellus gets a really nice sphere, forces the trinket from the shaman. It's a really good opener. Here I should have also reapplied Earth Shield just to make sure I'm not taking as much damage. But I'm also trying to watch for kicks. As you can see, I'm trying to pull them a bit closer to their shaman. But the paladin's going for a stun here on Shuk. And I think no, it wasn't here. It's later on. I think the warrior makes the mistake. And here you can see I'm getting very, very low. Shuk sends another bop. I'm kind of trying to pull towards the pillar just a little bit. Marcellus is now in a bit of trouble, but he uses Die by the Sword. And then right here, I go for a Hex. I get 2 kicks. So now I go for another Hex. And the warrior leaps. I don't know what that was all about. But I think he just made a mistake or he went for a fear. But now we got a bit more damage. And then the paladin should bubble. Okay, no, he's not going to bubble. I get a nice kick on the resto shaman. The warrior makes the mistake of charging over and fearing. I pull him in, away from his healer. Paladin had to use lay on hands, which is a massive support cooldown. And here's another earthen wall totem. So I try and knock them out, pull them a bit away, and then there's another interrupt. So if you don't have your interrupt set to focus, you should. But here they're trying to pull Marcellus away from me. But there he goes with another nice fear. Now they have no defensives at all other than Spirit Link. And that's it. So now we're just really focused on the warrior because when a warrior doesn't have Die by the Sword, he can be in a lot of trouble. There's the sacrifice. I'm switching to the paladin because I know he's taking a lot of damage now. There's Bop. I don't know why he chose Bop. It looked like Divine Shield was on cooldown and he went down. But that's it for the PvP session. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know if there is anything to make the viewing experience a bit better or if you've enjoyed the video so far. And I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Later.